Hey guys, Bobby from the GM Table, and it's a brand new year, which means I figured it's a good time to do a channel update, as well as talk about some changes, as well as what's going to stay the same coming into 2019. You know that 2018 was kind of our year to try new things. We had kind of been trying this out for about 6 months when the new year came around, little less. And at that point, I felt like I was kind of confident enough. I still don't have the equipment, but the editing was down enough before my laptop crapped out that I was like, oh, I'm going to push this further. I can do live streaming and use screen capturing on the laptop to show some of the behind-the-scenes GM stuff. Tried some new shows. Some worked, some didn't. We now also have a year of analytics. And yeah, this isn't going into the whole like YouTube algorithms and all that. But needless to say, being able to look at what videos you guys enjoyed and what videos you guys just kind of didn't care about, we're doing some shifting around of the channel. First of all, this channel is going to focus on two things. Where I keep doing reviews. The reviews do well. We spent a year building up relationships with publishers and physical product companies like Game Paper, and actually have a very cool physical product review coming. On top of that, this channel's kind of known as a Savage Worlds channel. And I love that. Savage Worlds is my favorite system. It's not really known as a D&D channel. It's not really known as an OSR channel. Because of that, I'm not really going to cover that stuff that much anymore. I'm still going to cover a lot of things from an OSR mentality because I enjoy OSR games. And I'm still going to review the occasional D&D product, and I'm going to review the occasional OSR product because we're still doing reviews. But OSR dedicated videos, gone. D&D dedicated videos, kind of done. I will still do generic DM/GM tip videos, but at least for this year, we're pushing heavy on the Savage Worlds. That's what most people are coming to look for. It's what I was already gearing up for because we have the new Savage Worlds edition that just came out, and we can kind of roll with that momentum. Now, on top of that, you might notice some videos that were your favorites or that you personally may have enjoyed aren't on the channel anymore. I deleted about 80 videos the other week. And I know I did it without any warning or anything like that, but these are all videos typically from the very beginning of when we started, back when we didn't have any external mics, back when the camera was the shoddy camera in the laptop. These were videos I personally hated. Just to get honest and to kind of get real with this, I wanted to start this channel about 3 years before I actually did, but I kept stopping myself because I didn't have any of the equipment anymore. I was used to working with actual gear. I don't want to say working in a studio, but like having an external camera, having external mics, being able to do editing, having a dedicated editing rig, all of that stuff. I kept telling myself, look, all I have is this mediocre laptop, which is now a crappy laptop, and that was it. And I went, you know, I can't do this. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. And finally, in August of 2017, I told myself, you know, it's time to kind of crap or get off the pot. Do it. Even if it's not great, just go and do it and get back into it, because at that point I hadn't made anything in a couple years, commercially or not. So I just started making videos, and it was slow moving. A very small group of you have been around since the very beginning, and this is still a very small channel. But as we started getting momentum, and as the Patreon came out, and thanks to all my patrons. In fact, I'll probably put the, hey, subscribe, check out our Patreon, the stuff I can now add, and it doesn't have to be live going because I can't add things in post on my laptop. Once that happened, I started getting an income in. I then started getting requests to be hired to GM some games, which is where I started GMs for Hire. I'll throw a link in the doobly-doo. From that, I now have the ETU game with people who are paying for seats. I've been contracted to do specific campaigns for people, which means I then had the income coming in to get stuff like this camera, like this microphone as I'm gesturing to my crotch. It's actually on my stomach, just FYI. But I finally got the budget to get the stuff in to make it closer to what I see myself doing, closer to my own personal standards. It's also letting me to kind of have fun with stuff and do cutaways and do things like the Sergeant Slaughter skit and all of that. Those early videos were as minimalistic as possible. They had typically no editing. Almost all my early videos were one cuts because I couldn't edit. And not that I lacked the ability to. I've known how to edit since college, but my rig just couldn't do it. So with all of that, I looked and I went, yeah, the stuff I like, The stuff people I feel still need, the stuff that's still useful, I'm remaking. Now, there's one video that I personally hate, but A, it's my highest performing video, and B, it's going to get remade kind of at the very beginning of this year, so I'm okay with it still being there, is Let's Run Savage Worlds Episode 1. That's still on the channel. The rest of Let's Run Savage Worlds, gone. Maybe some of the much newer stuff, some of the much more recent stuff is still there, but that I also just kind of saw as Savage Worlds videos, not specifically the tutorials, how-tos, and all. That's because starting this year, and actually starting very, very soon, if I can get off my butt and be a little less lazy, maybe as early as next week, we're going to have crash course videos for Savage Worlds. I have 2 of those planned. Just straight up crash course, the absolute basic bare minimum you need to know to play in Savage Worlds. And 2, a character creation crash course. This is not going to be all the rules for character creation. This is going to kind of be like a step-by-step walkthrough for making specifically a human character, a novice character, and something pretty simple. This is going to be a good video for making your first character. Once I'm done with those, Let's Run Savage Worlds is coming back, but it's not going to be called Let's Run Savage Worlds. It's going to be called Savage Worlds for Beginners. It's going to be a series. It's going to be called something much simpler, so when people search how to learn Savage Worlds for Beginners, stuff like that, it'll pop up even more, so more people looking for the information can find it. Honestly, where I'm shooting for it is going to be kind of like the Beakman's World or the Good Eats of game tutorial videos. There's going to be cut-tos, I'm playing on some skits, some of that kind of stuff. If you're asking what's Beakman's World, then you really need to get on that and watch it. It's basically Bill Nye if he smoked a bunch of crack and lived in Jersey. It's nuts, it's crazy, it's weird, and I actually think it was a way more fun kids' TV show. Now, I don't want you to think, like, my stuff's just going to be for kids, but there's going to be that lighthearted tone. If you like the Sergeant Slaughter stuff, that's how we're going to teach people Savage Worlds. And maybe if that does well, when I finish the basics of Savage Worlds, I'll go into other systems. And I'll do one for D&D 5th edition. I'll do one for basic fantasy. If I can wrap my head around it with my buddy Mike, we'll do one for Fate. We'll do one for City of Mist. We'll do all that stuff. That's way down the line. Let's get Savage Worlds done first. And speaking of that, all of you who have been asking me for a video on chases, that I've been getting them in Facebook, I've been getting them on YouTube videos, it's coming. Chases are going to be one of the videos for Savage Worlds for Beginners, but it's going to be one of the later videos. We still got to get through what are attributes, what's the wild die, what are bennies, how do wounds and shaken work, which is now all flipped and twisted, because now we can cover conditions, and we can cover stunned, which is a condition, but it's a whole other weird thing. And we can go into all of these deep, detailed things in the beginning of the book before we even get the chases. But it's coming, all right? We got 52 weeks in the year. I doubt it's going to take me 50-some episodes to get there. Now, on top of that, like I said, the reviews are still coming. The reviews won't be weekly. Now that we have a show going regularly, whenever I get a product into review or I see a product, I'm like, hey, I really want to review that, I'm going to add it in addition to a weekly show. So that's going to be more work on me, more work on my friends who I tend to sucker into helping me out. And every so often we'll have weeks where there might be 2 episodes and one's a review. Stuff like that. On top of that, this is Savage Worlds based, but I want to bring it up. It's not going to be its own separate series, but every so often we're also going to try and do videos where we take older Savage Worlds settings and we convert them to Suede. We convert them to Savage Worlds Adventurers Edition. Because I'm going to be real honest here, and if you want to argue with me, you can argue in the comments, and I probably won't read them, but Suede is such a big difference from other editions of Savage Worlds. Not everything converts easily. In fact, I know I'm going to do it for East Texas University, because I already had to do the work, so I might as well make a video about it. And yes, some of these settings, you got to do a good bit of work to fit them into the new edition. Well, we're going to do videos on that. So if you have settings you really want to see a video done for converting it over to the new edition of Savage Worlds, leave it in the comments. That I will read. I've already had almost 2 months with Alpha 1.0, 2.0. And in all of those, they're different enough that me and publishers I work for, publishers I'm friends with, all go, yeah, we got to completely rewrite stuff. So that's just what it's going to be. We're going to look at settings, and if Pinnacle gets to it, cool. means I don't gotta do the work. If not, we'll do it and we'll cover it. With that, I do want to say Deadlands isn't going to get covered. All right, before everybody asks for Deadlands, they already said they're re-releasing Deadlands. I'm not going to do that one. We know that's coming. And it's going to be a full re-release of a book. I'm not wasting my time on that one. But with that, I will catch you guys later. I'll catch you guys next week. Bye.